Hi, I'm Paul. I'm from Bourke Street Bakery and we've just opened this new little eat and run called Wilbur's Place. So Wilbur's Place came from the fairy tale Charlotte's Web, and that was a particularly favourite fairy tale of mine as a child. Wilbur I loved as a character, and the irony that he gets eaten at Wilbur's Place is something that sort of makes me laugh. It was the site sort of grabbed me. I love this lane, and I love the way the two worlds meet in between Potts Point and King's Cross, and you really do have an eclectic bunch of customers. Takeaway meals at Wilbur's are encouraged because it's also something that's not really done very much in good restaurants, and it's something that's sort of been left out, that people think that you can't have a good meal takeaway. And I don't think that's true. And there's a lot of good food that's based around good takeaway, like good takeaway Thai and good takeaway Indian, and I don't see any reason why we can't do good takeaway food. So Wilbur's Place is particularly reasonable because everything's under $20, and we wanted to make it that way so that food is approachable to all, so that someone can come and get a takeaway meal for its really good quality food, but it's also cheap. The porchetta roll is probably turning out to be a most favourite dish, and definitely my favourite dish. So it's a beautiful saddle of pork that's roasted in the oven for 4 hours and then carved up and put on a roll. So this is a pork saddle. With the loin, we generally face it towards us, and then we start rubbing the ingredients over it. So the first thing we rub is the confit garlic. So this is just garlic poached in olive oil for many, many hours. It just takes away that bitterness and adds a bit of sweetness. So we press it down all over the pork, nicely fresh top time. So we just sprinkle it over, make it easy when you are rubbing it. And the next thing we put on is the rosemary. So this is once again freshly chopped. Now we have fennel seeds. These are lightly roasted just on a pan. Lots of pepper, a little bit of salt. After we rub the pork with all the flavours, then we tie it up nice and tight and it's ready to go in the oven. Tyings are particularly important so the aromatics and the stuffing hold itself together, but also as it roasts, you don't want a loose roast. And we roast that for about 4.5 hours, depending on how big the saddle is. And then we take it out and we give it a probe. And so what you're looking for is generally about 70, 72 degrees internal temperature. And then we let it rest for about an hour, and then we take the crackling off, and then we independently cook that at a much higher temperature. So we just shave off bits. Here's the nice loin. And then here's the belly that we've shaved off. And then we just put a dollop of the mayo on. And there's our crackling, nice and hot pork crackling. It's very simple and very easy to eat. The philosophy is that you can come here and you can get a quick meal and you're in and out within half an hour, but if you wanted to stay and have an entree and main, then you can do that too. It's a place where you kind of stop and refuel, and then you're on to the next place. It's kind of the perfect pre-theatre or pre-movie, or somewhere you don't think you want to book at, but you just want to run past, see if you can grab a seat and then have a quick meal, which is delicious. The secret to baking good bread is definitely patience and a commitment to following the steps in the process. So bread really is sort of part science and part love. So if you do those two things well together, you're going to make good bread. What's great about the desserts at Wilbur's Place is that they're also particularly simple. So with a brioche ice cream sandwich, it's just really good brioche and really good ice cream that's homemade at Bourke Street. And on the other side, so if we have donuts on one night, it's just really good ricotta donuts and good ice cream on the side and a good Calibo chocolate sauce. It's all about keeping it simple and keeping it fresh. So Wilbur's is a particularly flexible place to come and eat. You can come here any time of day and get something really good, and that's impressive in a dining scene where you're sort of marginalised into having one thing at one time. And Wilbur's, you can come and get a great porchetta roll, you can come and have a glass of wine in the afternoon, you can come and have a great meal for dinner.